Good morning to all of you. In our today's class, we are going to start with chapter number 19, that is excretory products and their elimination. So today we are going to discuss the brief introduction part, and then as we will proceed we will get into the details. So let us first define the word excretion. So when you define the word excretion in very simple words, it means removal of metabolic waste from the body. So your body is performing lot of functions, and as a result of those functions different type of waste are produced. These waste accumulate in the body, so these waste can be harmful and so they need to be eliminated. Like carbon dioxide is produced as a result of respiration, so we excrete carbon dioxide when we exhale out. The same way the different type of nitrogenous waste are also produced, like ammonia, urea, uric acid. These nitrogenous waste are produced when the proteins or amino acids are digested, and these waste are very harmful, so that we need to remove these waste from the body. So we are going to deal with removal of nitrogenous waste in this chapter today. Now basically three type of nitrogenous waste are produced, that is ammonia, urea and uric acid, and different type of animals excrete different type of nitrogenous waste. Ammonia is the most toxic form and it require very large amount of water for its elimination, whereas uric acid is the least toxic, so it requires the minimum loss of water. So here you can see in the figure the three waste are there: ammonia, urea and uric acid. The ammonia being very toxic or most toxic require lot of water, so basically all the aquatic animals are excreting the ammonia. Then when you come to the terrestrial organisms which live on land, they excrete either urea or uric acid. The individuals who are releasing urea, they release the urea in the form of urine, which is a liquid form of excretory waste, whereas the birds and reptiles excrete uric acid, which is in the form of semi solid waste, right? So they do it because they need to conserve the water. So most of the aquatic animals are excreting ammonia. Then basically the mammals, amphibians and some bony fishes are excreting urea, and birds and reptiles which need to conserve the water in their bodies, they are excreting uric acid, and so accordingly they are named as aminotelic, ureotelic and uricotelic. So there are three categories of organism on the basis of the excretory waste they excrete. Those who excrete ammonia are aminotelic, those who excrete urea are ureotelic, and those who excrete uric acid are uricotelic. Now let us look out for the excretory organs in different groups. So the platyhelminths, rotifers, cephalochordates, they have protonephridia or flame cells which are helping in excretion. The earthworm and other annelids are having the nephridia as their excretory organ, whereas the insects have the Malpighian tubules for excretion and osmoregulation. The prawns and the other crustaceans are having antennal or the green glands that are basically helping in the excretion part, and the kidneys are present in case of most of the vertebrates. So we individuals, that is mammals including the man, we all are having the kidneys that are helping in the excretion of the waste material. Now let us come to the next part, human excretory system. You have already learned about human excretory system in your 10th standard also. So we are just going to have a brief discussion about the external structure, and we will have the detailed account about the internal structure which you have not learned in 10th standard. So the excretory system is basically consisting of a pair of kidneys, pair of ureter, a urinary bladder and a urethra. Now kidneys are the organs where the urine is manufactured. They are reddish brown bean shaped structures and they are situated between the level of last thoracic and third lumbar vertebra, close to the dorsal inner wall of abdominal cavity. This is about the location. Each kidney measures about 10 to 12 centimeter in length, 5 to 7 centimeter in width and 2 to 3 centimeter in thickness, with the average weight of 120 to 170 grams. Now when you see the center of each kidney, there is a concave surface and a notch like structure is seen, that is called hilum. The hilum is a part through which the ureter, blood vessels and nerves enter. Inside to the hilum is a broad funnel like structure which is called renal pelvis, and renal pelvis had got the projections which are called calyces. The outer layer of the kidney is tough capsule, and inside the kidney there are two zones. The outer side is called cortex and the inner side is called medulla. The medulla is further having the conical structures which are called medullary pyramids projecting in between the calyces. Now the cortex extends between the medullary pyramids. You can see there is a region between the medullary pyramid and that is called as column of Bertini. Right children? Now each kidney is having the structural unit which is called nephron. Now the detailed account of the nephron we will learn in our next lesson. Now so these kidneys are manufacturing the urine. Now what is the role of ureter which are present in pair? Whatever urine is manufactured by the kidney, the ureters are carrying that urine from kidney to bladder. The bladder is a inverted pear like structure. It had got the stretchable membranes, so it stores the urine temporarily till it is released out. So the main function of the urinary bladder is to store the urine temporarily. Next and the last part is the urethra, which is the part from which the urine moves out. All these parts and their functions are already known to you children. You have already learned them. So we are just revising them in brief. That's all for the day. Now in our next class, we are going to learn about the detailed account of nephron, which is the unit of kidney, and then we will go through the processes like formation of urine, how the urine is getting concentrated. All these headings will be discussed. So today's lesson was related to the brief introduction. In case if you have any doubt or any issue, then kindly give a call. Thank you.